So you can start by lying on your back. Notice how you're resting. Typically when you lie on your back, the legs flop out at the feet. When we do the movement for this lesson, you're going to actually roll your foot towards the ceiling. So the kneecap and the foot are rolled towards the ceiling. Not that I want you to flex your ankle up, but just the natural lying or the natural resting position for the ankle and foot, you're going to roll so that the toes are up towards the ceiling. Let's start with the right leg. And you're going to bend the knee, leaving the heel on the floor. And just notice as you do that, where do you feel the muscles contracting? Close your eyes if that helps. Front of the knee, the back of the knee, the back of the calf, the shin, the butt, the ankle, the back. Just notice where it is for you and rest. Compare that to the other side because we want to find the side that you want to work on. And bend the knee after you've rolled the leg so that the toes and the kneecap are pretty much pointing up towards the ceiling. And when you're rolled in that position, that's when you bend the knee, leaving the heel down. And just notice, is one side easier? Can you lift higher? And then when you rest, you let the legs flop back out again. Now, I definitely noticed that it was easier on the left side, so I'm going to choose to work with the right side. And whatever is true for you, go ahead and work with that side, or you can do both. So sometimes it's nice to feel just doing one side so you can sense the effects that you have there. So make a mental note of the effort that it felt to bend one knee, where you felt the muscles working, and same thing on the other side. You might feel like, oh yeah, this one goes higher, this one's easier, this one I feel the work more in the front of the thigh, a little bit in the calf, where this side, I feel like the hamstring and the front of the thigh, and I don't feel like I go as high. So just notice whatever it is there for you. And now make a mental note of what it felt like on the side that you want to improve. And on that side, let's say it's a right leg that you want to improve, you're going to place your right hand on your right thigh, slide the hand moving down towards the knee. Again, it's a small movement, not like you're going to get there to touch the knee, but you just slide the hand towards your knee, letting the hand stay on the thigh the whole time. And you're feeling where that movement really comes from. So you may notice up in the shoulder blades some movement. You may notice the ribs on that side. You may notice some movement in the chest and the neck slightly. Don't push into anything extreme. Breathing as you go. Excellent. And resting. Now you're going to roll that leg that you're working on so the toes and the kneecap are up towards the ceiling. The same side hand is on that same leg that you're working on improving. You can even imagine like a bar of soap under your hand, and you're in the bathtub and you're just leisurely sliding the soap down the leg. So just so it's an easy, leisurely movement. And we're going to connect it with the bending of the knee. Heel, once again, stays on the floor or table or ground, wherever you are. So you slide the hand towards the knee as you bend the knee. As you lower the knee, you bring the hand back to where you started from. And do that several times, feeling what it's like to slide the arm so the hand is moving towards the knee, feeling how you're moving from the shoulder blade Maybe you sense a little bit in the ribs or the chest or the upper back. And you're bending the knee. Excellent. You'll let that go. Now you place the opposite hand that you just were, the one you weren't using, place that behind your head. And the elbow can be not directly out to the side, not totally up to the ceiling, somewhere in the middle. So the arm is kind of relaxed. And you're going to use your hand and arm to help lift and lower your head slightly. Doesn't have to be a ton, but you're looking down towards that knee, that leg you want to improve. So even if your eyes are closed, you're still going to look in the direction of that knee. And you're just feeling, as the head lifts, what softens, what pushes down into the floor, what folds in the chest. You might feel the breastbone moving down, or the ribs in the front moving closer together. You may feel contact in the back changing as you lift and lower the head, because as something lifts up, something's going to be pushing down somewhere else. So just feel those places for yourself. Good. And when you've noticed that, go ahead and let that go. Let the arm down and rest. This one is really good for rebalancing the knee and helping the knee and the leg feel more connected to the whole of your whole self. So now let's tie those three things together. If you're working on the right leg, the right hand is on your right thigh, the left hand is behind your head. If you're working on the other side, it's the opposite. We're going to lift the head with the help of the left arm as we slide the right hand with the imaginary bar of soap moving down towards the right knee. And to begin with, we roll that leg we're working on so that the toes and the knee are up towards the ceiling, leaving the heel down. We bend the knee at the same time as we slide the hand with the imaginary soap, and we lift the head. And you're breathing as you do this. Yes, you may feel some abdominal contractions, but instead of focusing on the abdominal contractions, I want you to do the focus on the bones that are moving, the knee that is bending, the heel that is resting on the table or the floor, the hand that is sliding, the ribs that are folding in the front. And you're just saying, how can I make this easier? So you want to make sure you're breathing. You could try exhaling on the way up, inhaling on the way down, or the opposite. As long as you're not holding your breath. Excellent. Go ahead and let that go fully. Take a break. If this bothers the back, you could always have the opposite knee bent. And or when you're resting, you can bend that knee you're working on up so that the foot is flat when you're resting. That's a possibility. If you're okay with the legs long, leave them long. Great. Now, after doing that, we're going to roll the leg back towards the ceiling. We're going to check in to see if anything is different. This is kind of the neat part. And whoa! Okay, it's going more. I feel like it's easier and softer. Feel more contracting in a different place, the front of the knee, than when I did at the beginning. So that means we're talking to the brain. We're actually making some changes when you sense a difference. So now we're going to play with some other patterns. So if you didn't sense a huge difference, hold on. We'll see what happens when we work with the next pattern. So we're still working with the same leg, but I'm going to take my opposite hand. So if I'm working on the right leg, I'm going to take my left hand, place it somewhere on top of my right hip, the right side of the pelvis, And I'm going to take that imaginary soap bar and I'm going to begin to slide that hand down towards the knee, letting the hand rest on the body. So if it's hard for me to reach and I can only go to my abdomen, that's fine. Wherever you're able to go to is fine. Just notice what moves through your chest, through your ribs, through your breastbone, your upper back. Again, this is leisurely. You've got the soap bar and you're just sliding that soap down towards the knee and away from the knee. Towards the knee and away. And you rest. Roll the leg back so the knee and the toes are up towards the ceiling, and we're combine the opposite hand sliding towards that knee as you bend the knee, sliding the hand down towards the knee. As you lower the knee, the hand goes back to where it started from. And just see what it's like to work with these two components of movement together. We're getting a little bit of a twist in the upper back and the flexion of the knee, the bending of the knee. Your foot and ankle might feel even more relaxed. Just try not to hold it in any rigid way. The only thing you're thinking of is that that heel is supportive. Instead of contracting that ankle, you just let it move as it will. Let it go and rest. Now you're going to take if you're working on the right leg, you're going to take the same side hand. So it would be the right hand underneath the head. If you're working on the left side, take your left hand under the head. And then lift and lower the head with the help of that arm. And look towards the leg that we're working on. And just feel what the folding feels like with this side, where you feel the ribs moving, where you feel the breastbone moving, what you feel pushing into the floor as you lift the head, and how the pressure goes back down to the contact points when the head is down. Good, let that go. And now we tie all three of these together. The leg is rolled in. The opposite hand is across the body, somewhere on the front of the hip or pelvis or abdomen. Same side hand of the leg that you're working on is behind the head. And you lift the head as you slide the long arm and bend the knee. Heel stays down. And so we're working with this diagonal from the shoulder and the hand going to the opposite knee, just to make these relationships and just feel the difference. What is it like to not lift the head? Feel how far you go. And then put the hand back under the head and lift the head, and try a few times where you are lifting with the head and just see, is that easier? Can you go farther when you're lifting with the head? Not that I want you to effort or really be doing the abdominal crunches with this, but just notice, is it easier to go farther when you have the head going with the motion? You might feel like the knee even lifts a little higher when the head lifts versus when the head stays down. Try both. And when you've had enough of that, go ahead and rest. Let the leg flop out when you're resting. And these movements usually help me breathe better because it's calming to the nervous system. You might even get some stomach gurgles because as the muscle tension patterns go down and we're calming the nervous system, then your nervous system actually sends more fuel or more nerve function to the digestive system, so you may get some gurgles or some noises. So just to let you know. So now let's go back to seeing what it's like. Roll the leg that we've been working on, bend the knee, and whoa! Check out the changes here. And just see where you feel the muscles contracting And how does it feel? How easy is it? How far do you go? What other parts of yourself do you notice as you bend the knee? And then compare to that side that was the quote unquote better side. And you may find that, oh, the better side now actually feels like it can use some work too. Or it might be that, oh yeah, we improved this side, but you know, this side is still not as good as this side, but you'll discover that for yourself. You can work on both sides because your brain is definitely going to get some great info from the side that's already working better, and play with both. For the purpose of today's lesson, we just did the one side. What I'm going to have you guys do is come up to standing, and the side that we worked on, what you're going to do is you're going to bend that knee. This time your heel is going to pop up. Instead of when we were lying on your back, your heel stayed down. You're going to imagine that there's a band around the knee. Someone has this band in front of you and they're pulling the band to flex the knee. The toes and the ball of the foot stay down, but you're imagining someone's pulling the band forward and the heel pops up. Feel how your weight shifts when that happens. The heel comes up and the weight shifts maybe a little bit to the other foot, and of course to the front of the knee, or front of the foot on the side that the knee is bending. Good. Go ahead and rest. Try that on the other side, whether you've worked on that side or not. You bend the knee, the heel comes up, the weight shifts. Now the cool thing is to go around and walk, imagining that someone has a band in front of the knee and they're pulling the band. And even on the side we didn't work on, they're pulling the band to make the heel pop up. Go ahead and feel that as you walk. What is it like to imagine that the knees are being pulled by these bands? And you can actually just stand in place and bend one knee, bend the other knee, bend one knee, bend the other knee, and feel what that's like. And now go ahead and walk again. Feel how soft the knees, can be. And then think of walking heel toe, heel toe, heel toe. Walking heel toe, heel toe, heel toe, you might feel more tension. A lot of us have been trained to walk that way, and it's not really the most efficient way to walk. As you can probably feel yourself when you think heel toe, that's like marching band walking. It increases the tension and the tone through the muscles. So if you're trying to improve your movement, try playing around with this idea of the soft knees. Work with these movements to help rewire the connections in your body. And let me know how it goes, and stay tuned for more great movements, and feel good with these soft knees. Bye now.